All right, welcome back to the channel. I want to go over compressors and give you a couple use case scenarios. Let's go ahead and listen to this drum beat and hear what it sounds like without any additional compression. All right, so we're going to go ahead and enable the dynamics over here and bring on the compressor. Compressors basically squash a signal down. So if we look at the waveform over here, the peak, it'll smash that down to be lower in overall volume. And then the sections in the middle, in between the hits, where the cymbals and stuff are going, it'll raise that up. And that's where a lot of the room tone and sound is, or if you have a peak in your vocal or your voiceover, it'll kind of take the louder parts and bring them down and bring the quieter parts up for just a more balanced, uniform type of sound. So let's walk through the compressor tools. In the dynamic section here in the middle, we have the compressor, and that's what this window is kind of working in conjunction with the expander gate and compressor. So you have input, which is the signal coming in. Then you have the gain reduction, and that's the amount that the peaks are coming down and the volume reduction of the signal. Then you have this makeup gain, which for every time you bring the volume down, you can bring it back up to have the compression, but keep the volume back up to a normal level. And then the output. So let's walk through the settings here. We have threshold, and as you can see up top, it says 1, 1. If you go all the way up, that means nothing's hitting the threshold. And what you have to do is bring the threshold down to where it's starting to interact with the signal. So that could be the very peak, or it could be down towards the bottom of the average signal. Now we have a ratio. And this is basically, if it's 1 to 1, it means you put one level in, you get one level out. If you go 2 to 2, 3 to 3, it's 1 in, 3 out, 1 in, 4 out. The knee, if we look at this line where these two intersect here, and we'll crank this up a little bit. If we bring the knee down, you can see that line gets angled and sharper. So that's whenever signal hits this, it has a harder intersect and it clips down quicker. Where if you have the knee up, it's more of a gradual slope, kind of lets it in and out a little bit smoother. Mix, in this case, 0 is all compressor, so 0 dry signal. And 100, as you can see, the dial goes up here. That'd be no compression, 100% original signal. Then we have the attack, hold, and release. The attack is once the signal comes into the compressor, how quickly does it start to compress? Hold is how long does it hold under compression while it hits that threshold, starts to release as it goes lower than the threshold. And then the release is basically how fast it'll let the signal out of the compressor to start looking for the next part of the signal. So you have to play with these depending on what you're compressing. So we'll mess with this in a minute here. I'm going to keep the knee where it is. I'll stay at 2 to 1. We'll bring the threshold all the way up and start dialing it down. And we'll leave everything else the same just so you can hear what it sounds like. So you can hear there, it's starting to reduce in volume, but we're getting like a lot more room tone going on. And if we could watch this gain reduction meter, we're getting about 5, 6 dB. So let's raise that up a little bit. That's going to bring the volume back up so we're not hearing a quieter signal as we play back. So I'm going to go back and play again. Okay, so now we're starting to get some character going on, a little more room tone and like a ring out of the snares more pronounced. Let's bypass this compressor just to show you what it sounds like one more time. And then if we watch how fast the gain reduction climbs back down, first we'll start with the attack and we'll crank that up. And then you can hear how it reacts to that. So you see how it's barely compressing even though we didn't change the threshold or the ratio is because the attack time is too long before it's hearing a signal. So we need to dial that down to where it is interacting with the timing of the incoming signal. So let's play that again. Okay, and then I'll crank the hold up. And what you'll notice is it's going to stay compressed without having that breathing or any back and forth with the signal. So see how it just stays like a blue line? So now we're not getting any real life. It's just squishing the signal down and it's not going to sound right. See how it's flat sounding. There's no dynamics to it whatsoever. So let's bring that down and we'll just see where it's interacting and sounds good. So now every time there's a kick drum or a snare hit, it's reducing quick enough to let the cymbals and stuff come through. Now, if we crank the release up, it's almost like hold, but you'll see what I mean. It's still interacting based on the hold time, and it's starting to release in between the hits, but not quite. So what we need to do is dial this back until it lets the signal out faster. Let's go ahead and bypass that again, and we'll turn it on and off just to show you what we got going on right now with these settings. So pretty drastic sound difference with just the stock compressor. Now, there's different styles of compressors. We're going to go ahead and leave this one off. And I'm going to turn on this other one I have here. This one's just called the Dirty L4, and it's more of a leveling amplifier style of compressor. And this got a lot more character compared to the stock one, which essentially just controls general dynamics. This one's going to have more tone and character, and it has an option called dirt amount. You have your regular peak reduction, which is essentially like your input. You have a wet dry mix. There is a limiter function, and then you have the amount of dirt level. So I'm going to bypass it, and we'll listen to what this one sounds like, and then I'll turn it on. So let's go ahead and turn this off, and we'll listen to the amount of dirt it has. So you can hear that snare almost sounds like a gunshot. A lot of room tone in there. Gives it a lot of character. So this is really cool for music applications, big drum sounds. You can use it in parallel with a voiceover if you wanted to have more of a intimate, in-depth voice behind the original voice. That's a trick a lot of audio producers use. But anyway, I just wanted to show you guys the difference between a stock compressor and one that has a bunch of character. We're going to shut this one off. And I'm going to show you the other use case scenario for a compressor, which would be ducking the music bed. Now there is a plugin that's new to Resolve 19 over here. It's track wide instead of clip based. It's called the Ducker. And if you turn it on over here, you can choose your source to listen to. So on Audio 2, we have a voiceover. So I'll go ahead and bring that up and shut that off. So here it is. And I'm going to have the Ducker on Audio 1. As you can see, it says source, Audio 2. So that means it's going to listen to Audio 2 before it compresses the drums over here. So let's listen to how that sounds.
As sound reverberates to the gates of perception, let it unlock the pathways to inner peace and wellness.
When the dialogue stops, the drums come back up. So this is a one way to do it, although it's not clip based, is the new Ducker feature, but that's a paid version on the Resolve 19. And you can also do that with this original one. So let's go ahead and dial that up. We'll turn the dynamics back on and we'll turn the compressor back on. And now we're going to have to dial in the settings in a way that work with the voice instead of the drums, as we're having it listen to the voice to compress the drums instead of before we were having the compressor work with the drum timing. So to get that to work, you need to turn sidechain on right here. And that has another drop down here now. So we're saying listen to the audio on channel 2. And if you turn listen on, that gives you like an input monitor and you can see the bus changes over here. So that's a preview of what the compressor is listening to, but you need to shut that off to actually have it affect the signal. So let's just hear what it's listening to. It's kind of like soloing this Audio 2 track.
As sound reverberates to the gates of
So
perception.
You're hearing it go through the compressor, so you could set it up to work, and this is where that hold and release and everything come down. At the end of this line, let's see how quickly it releases based on this setting.
Inner peace and wellness.
So it kind of ends fast. I'm going to have it release, bring the time up a little bit longer, and I want a
Keep
smoother reduction as it falls down to no compression here. So let's listen to that.
inner peace and wellness.
Still kind of long. So let's crank it up a little bit more here.
Inner peace and wellness.
There it's a little slower. Okay, so let's hear what it sounds like with the drums coming in. And I'm going to turn listen off so we can hear what it would actually sound like.
As sound reverberates to the gates of perception, let it unlock the pathways to inner peace and wellness.
All right, it's kind of a longer release now that I can hear it in real time instead of the listen function. And I brought the threshold down so it was not just the peaks of the drums, but more the body of the beat. So let's listen to it one more time now that I slowed the release down and brought the threshold down.
As sound reverberates to
So it looks like it needs to attack a little quicker. So as soon as that voice starts, I want it to jump down on it a little faster. So let's go back and hear it.
as sound reverberates to the gates of perception, let it unlock the pathways to inner peace and wellness.
You can hear it drop down here on the second line, and then it pops back up when that last word's spoken. Let's play it one more time.
Let it unlock the pathways to inner peace and wellness.
And then a fairly gradual release back. So that'd be like your radio advertisement or something like that, where it comes on, the music dials down, you can hear the voiceover or the ad, and then the music pumps back up in between those. That's kind of how this is done in the radio or ad world or any creative content, but no one's there actually dialing the automation of the volume back and forth. So let's hear it one more time. I'm going to raise the hold time a little and bring the attack time down. So when it hits the voice, because it has to hear this voice first. So these couple drum beats are going to hit. This dialogue's going to start, and then it's going to come on in. So let's hear what it sounds like with these two adjustments here.
As sound reverberates to the gates of perception, let it unlock the pathways to inner peace and wellness.
All right, so there you go. It works smoother when you have a little more than just a drum beat in the background, but this is a decent example of what I wanted to show you how it works. So that's essentially how to use the compressor for giving sound a little bit of character and tone and adding a third-party compressor with this dirty LA version or L4 LA. And then how you can duck with the track or the internal compressor without having to use the ducker. I'm not saying I don't like the ducker. You can pop this three menu open here and change the functions like how much is it ducking, so compression level. Look ahead is like a buffer. Rise time is after the fact, after the compression, how long does it come back? Hold is hold. And I'm not exactly certain on recovery. I haven't messed with it that much. So you can dial this in. I just don't like it being on the full track like that. I kind of like it being on the channel strip for whatever reason. All right. I want to thank you guys for watching as always, and I'll see you on the next video.